First thing I tell people when they want to simplify their life is the process of elimination is where you start. You let go of the things that no longer serve you before you start rotating or organizing what you have. Actually, this goes with anything in life. If you are burnt out, you have too much on your to-do list, too much on your schedule, you're saying yes to too many things, likely your home feels cluttered as well. You might have too many options, too many vases, too many blankets, too many pillows, and you're spending a lot of time rotating or second guessing, should I move this here? Should I move this there? Once you actually remove the things that you don't really love, then you're left with what you do love. Then you're not spending or trading your time to rotate or move things around because you love everything that you have. If you have something that you have to ask, should I get rid of this? That's your answer. If you have to ask yourself, should I remove this or should I get rid of this? The answer is 99% of the time is yes. Start by letting go, removing the subscriptions that you no longer use, saying yes to things that are no longer serving you. If you feel obligated to show up for people who aren't feeding or sharpening in your life, remove those things for a while so you can kind of gain control. And when it comes to the home, before you start moving and shifting things or organizing, let go of things first. Always do a purge or a declutter before you organize, before you start decorating, before you start purging. And you'll know the things that you don't really love because when you walk by them, it's kind of going to bother you. You're going to be like, oh, I don't really love that. I don't love that there. You will start justifying why you have it. It was a good deal, or it was expensive, or maybe you loved it 5 years ago. You don't love it now. Somebody gave it to you. You feel guilty getting rid of it. You feel obligated to keep it. Whatever the case is, there's always a justification. But the things that you love, the things that you invested in that you actually love, you know, and you're like, I am not getting rid of this because I love this piece. That's the first step to creating a simplified environment and a simplified life, because everything kind of pours out of that. Closets are a huge game changer once you start simplifying your closet or going down to a capsule wardrobe. I realize that I wear a lot of the same things because of the climate here. So when I do venture out into other clothes or outfits, I don't really wear them because it's just not that type of climate. I do keep some seasonal stuff, so you want to have some seasonal things that you will wear around Christmas or around the holidays. But if you just have this packed closet, you can't move the hangers, there's no space between the hangers, that's it's so much better when you just see what you have, you wear what you have, you love what you have, and it's not overwhelming. You don't have all these different options. All of that stuff just feeds more into a crazy or chaotic nervous system, makes us feel more overwhelmed. I mean, I know people who they have so many, you know, robes or towels just piled up on the back of their bathroom door. They can't even open or close the door. Like, first of all, you should be washing your towels every night because they grow mildew and mold when you leave them wet hanging. They're not probably drying all the way. And second, how many towels do you need? How many of these do is necessary? So if it's taking up space in the home, it's most likely taking up space in the mind. Simplifying life is a game changer, and it might look different for everybody. We have simplified in so many different ways to gain control in other areas. I don't want to be burnt out. I don't want to be rushing all over the place. I don't want to be shipping my kids all over the place to go here, go there. I'm rushing and I'm racing. For what? What are you rushing for? What are you racing for? Like, what is the hurry to get to that thing? And so a lot of times what we end up doing is we're working to keep up with a lifestyle, or to keep up with a house, or to keep up with all of these things, and we're burning ourselves out. And you wake up one day and you realize, I'm so burnt out, and what am I doing all of this for? So take a step back. If that's you, take a step back, take inventory of what you already have. And sometimes you can, what I like to do is, instead of having three cheap pieces, like three cheap items, I like to have one nice one. I will always invest in one nice thing instead of three dupes. You're going to save money in the long run when you invest in what you love, instead of having cheap versions because it was you bought it at night, or you shopped it, you clicked checkout or whatever, or somebody said, oh, get this as a cheaper version. Most of the time you're not as happy with the dupes because it's not the real deal. you know this is fake. This is a alternative from the best. If I would have just waited, I could have got what I really wanted. And when you get what you want and you wait to purchase what you want, it does feel better. You take more pride in it. You love that item. It feels better. You treat it better, and then that reciprocates back to you. You know, your environment is always reciprocating back to you, and it just feels better. That's how you create a space that you love. And I've done it too, where I've gotten not, I don't buy a lot of dupes, but sometimes I will be like, oh, well, this is a cheaper version of what I really want. I'll get that. I'm never happy with it. 3 months later, I want to get rid of it. I want to donate it or give it away. I'm like, yeah, I'm just not really happy with it. I don't love it. So slow down, figure out what it is that you love, process of elimination first before you organize or before you get your home in order. Declutter, purge. That's your step one. You'll feel so much better, and that's how you start a simple, elevated life of freedom.